Game 2 here at Joannes Park between the Green Bay Blue Ribbons and the Addison Braves. Guest PA announcer stepping in, Troy, old one, as Nick Whitwer is throwing out the ceremonial first pitch here for Game 2. Nick in his, I believe it's 4th season, as that will be in the batter's box. As this is his 100th game being called. So congratulations to Nick Whitwer for 100 games. I would keep track of how many I have, but I already lost track. Don't know. Lots of great games here at Joannes. Celebrating another season with the Ribs. As I don't know if Troy's taking over for the whole game or just the first pitch. But 100 games for PA announcer Nick Whitwer. Congratulations to him. Taking a look back at Game 1. The Braves were the first to get on the board, scoring 2 in the top of the first. After a triple from J.D. Swarbrick and a single from Dan Blickman. Eventually an error by the shortstop, George McIntyre, would allow Dan Blickman to eventually come around and score. And that gave the Braves a 2-0 lead. Ribbons responded right away after making an error in the top half of the frame. George McIntyre coming back with the solo blast to center in the first. And then after that, Ribbons not doing much in the first. In the second, both teams go down 1-2-3. And in the third, Braves do it again with 2 strikeouts in the third before a fly out to left. Ribbons not doing the same. Started with a Zachary Grossman single. Conley also hitting a single, and then George McIntyre with the 3-run blast quickly made this game a 4-2 ball game. Ribbons would get one more on, but none across in the third. In the fourth, Braves threatened quickly, getting 3 of the first 4 batters to reach base before Miles Foy flew out, and then so did J.D. Swarbrick. Keeping the game at 4-2. Ribbons would come back in the fourth and score 2 with Wilson Zuck and Dimitri Edmonds crossing the plate. Zachary Grossman had a sac fly to bring Wilson Zuck home. And then there was a single from Boone Curse to bring Dimitri Edmonds across. In the fifth, Ribbons got another 2 across, being James Bornick and Wilson Zuck. They threatened with bases loaded again, but was not able to get anyone to score after Zuck. And then they added 1 more insurance run in the 6th. And that is how the game ended, as the Braves went 1-2-3 in the 7th. Now heading to Game 2. It's going to be a very similar look for both sides. Outfield left to right, Wilson Zuck in left. In center will be Brian Gerbers, and in right, making his appearance, did not appear in Game 1, it will be Sawyer Larson. At third base, Milo Upton. At short will be George McIntyre. At second will be Peyton Conley. At first, James Bornick, and behind the dish will be Dimitri Edmonds. So Edmonds playing in a different spot compared to Game 1, but in a very usual spot for him when playing for the Ribbons. Designated hitter being Boone Kirst. On the mound for the Ribbons will be Joe Anderson. Lineup for the Addison Braves. Miles Foy, J.D. Swarbrick, Dan Brickman. Batting fourth, Connor Gabor. Batting fifth will be Peyton Berg. Batting sixth, Josh Connefs. Batting seventh, Frank Lavin. Eighth, Trent Lawrence. And rounding out the order will be Nick Sirid. As we're just about to get this game started, Joe Anderson getting his warm-ups in as to throw down to second. Hopefully will not indicate anything going forward as it skips twice before it reaches first base. But we're about to get ready here for game 2. As you'll see in your frame there, number 20. That was John Zielinski. He will be the first base coach here for game 2, at least here in the first inning. As we're just about ready to get this game started. Umpires swapping spots. As they put the mask on, and we're ready to get started. First pitch to Miles Foy will be in there for strike 1. Foy not having a good day at the plate so far. Grounded out to third in the first, grounded to the pitcher in the second, flew out to the second baseman in the fourth, and then did it again in the seventh. As he'll start in an 0-2 count. Shadow's really taking over that camera over at first. Strike 3 looking. Miles goes down 1-2-3. As this will bring up J.D. Swarbrick. Swarbrick in game 1 had a triple in the first, struck out swinging in the second, flew out to first in the fourth, and then flew out to right to end the game. He'll stare at ball 1 here. So Swarbrick has the speed and the power, as he proved in the first inning of game 1, as he started the Braves off and put them in good position to score, as this will be a base hit to left. This will bring up Dan Blickman. He will be the beer batter for game 2. Blickman is going to stare at ball 1. In game 1, he had a single in the first, eventually came around to score, struck out swinging in the third and looking in the fifth, making him a prime candidate here for game 2. Count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Fans now 1 strike away from buy 1, get 1 free PBR at the concession stand. Didn't get it at all in game 1. As that will be outside for ball 2. Anderson trying to give the fans what they want. Buy 1, get 1 free PBR. Here's the 2-2. Skips in the dirt, gets away from Edmonds. He might have a shot at second, but he'll hold on to it. Count now full to Blickman. Anderson now ready. The 3-2. Foul back to the net. Try to give it to the fans, but not happening this time. Anderson ready, the pitch. Low for ball 4. As once again, the beer batter will avoid striking out. This will bring up Connor Gabor. Gabor, in game 1, reached on an error in the first. Struck out swinging in the third and then struck out swinging again in the fifth. We'll see what he does here with runners at first and second, as that pitch will be high for ball one. Gabor playing right field for game two, so keeping that spot consistent. The 1-0 will be swung on and missed. Braves threatening early here in the top of the first. Anderson coming set. Here's the 1-1. That'll be fouled off. Back to the backstop. Count now 1-2. Anderson looking for his sign. Shakes one off, but now finds the one he wants. Here's the 1-2. As that will hit his bat, that will be a foul ball. A check swing foul from Gabor. As here comes the 1-2 again from Anderson. As that will miss the zone for a ball. Count now 2-2. Gabor ready at the dish. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball three. Count goes full to Gabor. Donaldson also struggled in the first inning, but was able to hone it in for the rest of his time on the mound, as that will hit him. This will load the bases for the Braves here in the first. As coming to have a chat is going to be Brett Whiffen. Whiffen, a former pitcher himself for the Ribbons. He was the closer for the Ribbons for a few years. First few years I was here. Then moved into a more coach's role. After being a team captain, fell in love with the coaching aspect or the helping aspect of being a team lead or a team captain, and moved into a coaching role when Hayden Price took over. So bases loaded for the Braves. The pitch from Anderson will be high for ball one to Peyton Berg. Berg in game one walked in the first, flew out to left in the third, and then he had that weird situation where he bunted the ball and it hit him after he left the box. As Berg will swing and miss for strike one. Anderson ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As that will miss the zone for ball two. Anderson finds the pitch he wants. The 2-1 to Berg. Will be high and away for ball three. Anderson struggling to find the zone early. As he comes set, here's the 3-1. As he'll walk him. Braves will take the lead here in the first for the second game in a row, which will bring up Josh Cuniff. Cuniff did not play in game one. He will be catching for the Braves here in game two. As Anderson already has his foot on the rubber. Home plate umpire looking to slow him down a bit. Bases loaded for the Braves once again, as that pitch will be in there for strike one. Joe Anderson looking for a way out of this inning, as the Braves currently have 1 run off of 1 hit. Edmonds keeping it in front of him. A single, a walk, a hit by pitch, and then a walk is currently where we find ourselves at 1-0. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. Cuniff stepping into the box. Anderson comes set. Here's the 1-2. Foul back to the net. Count remains 1-2. Cuniff ready. Anderson still looking for his sign. Shakes one off. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As that will miss the zone. Count now goes 2-2. One out. Anderson just looking for anything. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. 2 down now for Frank Lavin. Lavin DHing here in Game 2. In Game 1, he played left. He lined out to short in the first, grounded out to third in the fourth, and then walked in the 6th to become the 8th Brave to reach base out of the 9 starters. As that will be a ball to Lavin. As that one will find the zone for strike 1. Lavin ready in the box. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Anderson 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with minimal damage done. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Zalby line towards left center. This is going to be trouble. That will get down. Coming around to score is Blinkman, as this might clear the bases, and it will. Blinkman, Gabor, and Berg all coming around to score. It is now a 4-0 game for the Braves. A double for Frank Lavin means a runner at second for Trent Lawrence. Lawrence will smack this into right center. Larson getting a horrible jump on it, as coming around to score will be Frank Lavin. Larson caught flat-footed over in right, as that will be a base hit for Lawrence, and will give the Braves a 5-0 lead. It will also bring up the 9th batter of the inning, Nick Surrid. 5-0 Braves here at the top of the first. As that'll be in there for strike 1. Anderson just not getting the shake of the dice so far today. As that'll skip it will be called a strike. So it just dropped out of the glove of Edmonds. Anderson trying to get out of this inning. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and the inning is over. 9 batters come to the plate for the Braves. 5 come around to score. As we head to the bottom of the first, it's 5-0 Braves. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second here at Joannes Park. I wanted to jump in quick and show that line score. 5 runs for the Braves. 5 runs off of 3 hits. 3 of those runs scoring off of 2 walks and a hit by pitch as they came around to score. So I wanted to show that a little bit. Ribbons hoping to respond here in the bottom of the first. They'll send Peyton Conley to the plate to lead off. First pitch to him will be in the zone for strike 1. Conley, McIntyre, Kirst, Gerbers, Bornick, Zuck, Edmonds, and then Milo Upton and Sawyer Larson making their first appearances of the day. Count now 1-1 to Conley, as he'll foul that one off, bringing himself to a 1-2 count. On the mound for the Braves, Alex Cardoza, hoping to fare better than his counterparts in game 1. As here's the 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Conley ready. The 2-2. High for ball 3. Conley looking to get something started here for the Ribbons. They need some light, and they need it early. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. Conley will reach on the walk, as this will bring up George McIntyre. McIntyre had an amazing game 1. Cannot expect him to do it here in game 2. But had a home run in the first and the third, was intentionally walked in the 4th, and then just drew a walk in the 5th. As that will somehow find the zone for strike 1. As that one will be outside, and he'll call it a ball. Count is 1-1. McIntyre ready at the dish. Here's the pitch. Outside, but it's in the zone for strike 2. McIntyre ready. The pitch. Fouled off. McIntyre stepping into the box. Cardoza ready on the mound. Here's the 1-2. Outside for a ball. Cardoza ready. The pitch. High fly ball towards left, but foul. McIntyre giving that one a ride as it lands in the parking lot, but on the left side of the pole. We'll reset and do it again. Cardoza ready. Here is the 2-2. As that'll be line base hit in the left. Left fielder was playing way left, so rounding second, heading for third. He has trouble with it. Throw is going to be not in time. McIntyre finds himself at second. As that will be a single, and then an E9 to advance to second. This will bring up Boone Kirst. Kirst was catching in game 1. He struck out looking in the first, grounded to second in the third, had a single in the fourth, and then flew out to right to end the fifth. But now DHing, we'll see what he could do here, as that's a high fly ball to center, getting a bad chase, but jumping and making the catch. Both tag. McIntyre will head back to second as the throw will go to third. Scoring on the play will be Peyton Conley as the Ribbons cut into the lead on the sac fly.
Now batting center fielder number 25, Brian Gerbers.
Brian Gerbers now coming to the plate for the Ribbons. In game 1, Gerbers reached on an error in the first, walked in the third, flew out to first base in the fourth, and then walked and eventually came around to score in the sixth. Finds himself in an 0-1 count here. As here comes the pitch. Low and away for a ball. Gerbers stepping into the box. Ribbons threatening with a runner at second. The pitch from Cardoza will be popped up towards center. McIntyre retreating back to second, as the second baseman making the over-the-shoulder grab, as there are now 2 down for James Bornick. Bornick in game 1 struck out looking in the first, grounded out to first in the third, had a single and eventually came around to score in the fifth, and then drew a walk in the sixth. Hoping to get a single here. It should score McIntyre as he'll stare at strike 1. Cardoza looking for his sign. Now finds the one he wants. Wind now blowing in from center, as that will miss the zone for a ball. Count is 1-1. Bornick ready. The 1-1. As that'll be blooped into right center. Center fielder was playing right, so is able to trot over and make the easy grab for out number 3. Ribbons get one across here in the first. They still trail by 4 as we head to the second. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the second here at Joannes Park. Looks just like the top of the first. Miles Foy, J.D. Swarbrick, and Dan Blickman. Those are your due up for the Addison Braves. Anderson hoping for a better outing this time around, as Foy will swing and miss for strike one. Foy struck out swinging last time he was up, but he didn't go down without a fight. Lots of foul balls from Miles Foy. Anderson working him into an 0-2 count. The pitch. Just misses the zone for a ball. The pitch from Anderson. Swung on and missed. Strike three. As there will now be one out for J.D. Swarbrick. Swarbrick got everything started in the first after a single. He would eventually come around to score as he stares at strike one here. Pitch two will be high and away for a ball. Looking very similar to his first at-bat. The 1-1 will be inside for a ball. Swarbrick had a single on a 1-1 pitch. We'll see how Joe Anderson recovers here. The 2-1. Popped up. Lawrence giving chase, and so is Conley. Conley calls for it, but not able to make the catch. Comes off his glove. As going into second will be Swarbrick. Conley. We'll see if that goes down as an error, as it looks like it will. It's a tough play for Conley. Lawrence should have had a better look at the ball. But that's twice now Lawrence did not have a good jump and was unable to make the play. Ball gets away from Edmonds as it bounces out of his glove again. This time it was a ball. Count is 1-0. Blickman drew a walk after starting the count 0-2. As that'll be high for ball two. He is the beer batter here for game two. As he'll swing and miss here for strike one. Anderson still trying to make fans happy for the first time today, as neither Axel Donaldson or Kai Miller were able to get him out. In the last game, it was Trent Lawrence. Miller got Lawrence to ground into a double play, as that will be ball four. And drawing an easier walk than last time is the beer batter, Dan Blickman. This will bring up Connor Gabar. As coming to have a chat will be Edmonds. Anderson struggling on the mound early for the Ribbons, as they are slowly maybe getting someone warming up in the arm barn. There's someone standing, but not really anyone warming up. So we'll see what Anderson does here. First pitch will be a strike to Connor Gabor. The 0-1 from Anderson will be lined towards short and will get over the head. It will be a single as the runners will advance one base, as the bases are loaded once again for the Addison Braves. Someone is starting to get up and throwing for the Ribbons. It's a righty, not quite able to tell who it is. First pitch from Anderson will be a strike. As it looks like number 29, Benji Hankey, warming up. This will be popped up. Edmonds giving chase, but it will go into the stands. Benji Hankey warming up for the Ribbons. As of right now, it's just not Anderson's night. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Braves so far. The 0-2 will be high for ball 1. Berg was able to draw a walk last time. Here's the 1-2. Low and away for ball 2. Berg is the 14th batter of this game for the Braves, as this will be popped up. Edmonds throws his mask, camping underneath it, and making the catch as Bornick crashing into him. As there are now 2 down for Josh Conniff. Anderson now 1 out away from getting out of this inning with no damage done. Bases are still loaded. And Conniff can be a very dangerous batter. Last time up, he did strike out looking. But in years past, he's had a power bat for these Addison Braves. We'll see how Anderson handles him here. The 1-0 will be swung on and missed for a strike. Anderson ready, the 1-1. Outside for a ball. Ribbons are getting a second arm warming up. It will be number 10, Drew Swidzinski, tossing alongside Benji Hankey, as Anderson currently has a 3-1 count. Anderson ready on the mound. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed. Count now full. Anderson looking to get out of this inning. 3-2, 2 outs. 5-1 lead for the Braves. Trying to stop this one from getting out of hand early, as this will be fouled back to the net. Three-two, 2 outs. Anderson now set. The pitch. Low and away for ball 4. As coming around to score will be J.D. Swarbrick. As it will give Addison a 6-1 lead. Hayden Price standing at the top of the dugout. Not going to make the change now, as both Hankey and Swidzinski are still warming up. 7th batter of the inning, Frank Lavin at the dish. Lavin had a double in the first, which cleared the bases for the Braves. Count is now 1-1 to Frank Lavin. Anderson just trying to end the misery, end the bleeding. The 1-1. Pop, foul, and out of play. Lavin finds himself in a 1-2 count. Last time he was in this count, he hit a double. Anderson now ready. The pitch. Pop, foul, and out of play. Count remains 1-2. Anderson coming set. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking, and the inning is over. Braves get one across here in the second as they erase the 1 run the Ribs scored in the bottom of the first. As we head to the bottom of the second, we'll see how the Ribbons respond. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second here at Joannes Park, 6-1 Braves. A little bit of an interesting thing if you're watching the stream, as you may have seen Hayden Price walking over to the Addison Braves dugout. They might be making some sort of swap, but we'll have to see in the top of the third. First pitch is going to be inside to Wilson Zuck. It'll be interesting to see what change he might be making, as that pitch will be outside for ball 2. Zuck in game 1 grounded out to short in the second, single and came around to score in the fourth, as he'll pop this one up over the left fielder's head. Zuck rounding first, heading for second. The throw is going to be not in time, as that will go down as a double for Wilson Zuck. This will bring up Dimitri Edmonds. As he'll stare at ball 1. Edmonds in game 1 was playing right field. He flew out to center in the second, singled and eventually came around to score in the fourth. Singled, didn't quite make it around. He reached third in the fifth, and then he was a part of the double play that ended the sixth. All he did was draw a walk that time around. Edmonds awaiting the 2-0 as this will be grounded towards short. Zuck heading back to second. Throw is going to be in time to get Edmonds. As that'll be a 6-3 put out to bring up Milo Upton.
Now batting third baseman number 27, Milo Upton.
Upton made a few appearances for the Ribbons so far. As the two newbies here for the day are going to bat here, as Upton will stare at strike one. Neither Upton nor Larson were in game one. As here comes the 0-1 to Upton. As he'll stare at ball one. Upton not playing his usual position. He is playing third base. As here is the 1-1 from Cardoza. As that'll be grounded foul. Upton hoping to bring a run home or at least get something started here for the Ribbons. The 1-2. Outside, ball two. Count is 2-2. Upton ready at the dish. The pitch from Cardoza will be high and away for ball three. Full count, Upton at the dish. Wilson Zuck at second. As that'll be lined up the middle, base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Zuck. The throw is going to be cut off as Zuck will cross the plate as it is a 6-2 ball game. Upton single will bring up Sawyer Larson with only one down. Larson, as we mentioned, did not play in game one and had two, I'm going to call them mental errors over in right, where he just did not get a good jump on a ball. This one he'll pop up. Third baseman giving chase, but this will reach the stands as Dan Blickman not able to get to it. But on two occurrences, Larson just caught flat-footed and unable to make the play, as the Braves currently hold a 6-2 lead. The 0-1 to Larson will be in there for strike two. Larson hoping to continue the heat for the Ribbons. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike three. Larson will head to the dugout, which will bring up Peyton Conley. Conley walked and eventually came around to score in the first. That pitch will be low and away for ball one. Conley was battling at the dish in the first, fouling off quite a few pitches before eventually drawing the walk on a full count. Count now 1-1, as fans did not like that strike call from the umpire, as Conley will swing and miss here for strike two. Conley ready at the dish. Cardoza comes set. Here's the 1-2. Outside, ball two. Conley stepping into the box. 2-2, 2 outs. As here's the pitch from Cardoza. As that'll be lined towards left, and it will get down. diving left fielder, not able to get it. Rounding third, heading for home is Upton, and he will get in standing. Milo Upton coming all the way around from first, as Peyton Conley with the double will bring up George McIntyre. Ribbons scoring a couple here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to McIntyre, a big swing, but a miss. McIntyre having a few hefty swings between the two games today. One of them flying way foul, but two others leaving the yard in fair territory. McIntyre comes set. Here's the 1-1. As that'll be fouled off. McIntyre most likely going to take a little extra time getting into the box, as Cardoza has to get a new ball. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner at second is Peyton Conley. As Cardoza comes set, the 1-2 pitch. High for ball 2. McIntyre in the box. Ribbons threatening here in the bottom of the second. The pitch is going to be popped up. Camping underneath it is the center fielder, Peyton Berg, as he'll make the catch for out number 3. Ribbons get 2 across here in the bottom of the second. As we head to the third, it's still 6-3 Braves. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the third here at Joannes Park. A little bit of a defensive sub for the Ribbons. Heading to first base is going to be Milo Upton. And Drew Sajinski going to head over to first base. In the batting order, he will take over the 5 hole for James Bornick. So it looks like Bornick's night is done. Joe Anderson still on the mound. So as we saw Sajinski warming up in the arm barn earlier, It was not to get ready to pitch, as that'll be lined towards right center. Lawrence once again not getting a good jump on it, as he started almost like a little jog and then started running. Don't know if he's having trouble reading it in the sun today, but that will go down as a hit for Trent Lawrence, which will bring up bottom of the order Nick Sered. That pitch will be inside for ball one. Sered struck out swinging to end the first last time he was up, as he'll swing and miss here for a 1-1 count. The pitch from Anderson will be swung on and missed, as it will actually be a foul tip into the glove, but Edmonds not able to hold on. So count goes to 1-2. The pitch from Anderson. Strike 3 looking, as there's now one down for Miles Foy.
Now that is number 3, Miles Foy.
This will be Foy's 7th attempt today to reach base. As that will skip in the dirt and get away from Edmonds. Heading to second will be Trent Larson. As I believe that will probably go down as a passed ball. The 1-0. As that'll be lined towards left. Not able to get to it is going to be Zuck. Rounding third, heading home is going to be Lawrence, as trotting into second and reaching base for the first time today will be Miles Foy. Foy so far today finds himself in a 1-7 day, as Hayden Price has seen enough. Tough day for Joe Anderson. 7 runs, 6 hits. Six strikeouts. But his day is over. Don't exactly know how many were earned, but just looking at my book here, it looks like it will be 6 out of 7 earned. So not a great night for Joe Anderson. Four walks on the day. But this will bring up Benji Hankey, as he will come out of the pen. And he'll start getting some warm-up pitches in. As a reminder, make sure to tune in tomorrow as the Braves and Ribbons do it again for another doubleheader. Start time will be 11:30, which is a little different from the pocket schedules you may have gotten at local businesses or the schedule posted online. I believe it will be a little different from that, but it is 11:30 first pitch for game 1, and then game 2 will start 30 minutes after that. So if you can't make it to the Joe, make sure to tune in to the live stream. And if you can't make either of those, try to tune in Wednesday as the Ribbons take on the Manitowoc Bandits. That will be for the youth night game that has had to been rescheduled twice now.
Now batting number 7, J.D. Swarbrick.
The book is not closed on Anderson quite yet. He is still responsible for the runner at second. But Benji Hankey hoping not to give him that pleasure. That will be a pop-up towards right. Upton chasing, not able to make the catch. Upton giving it his all over at first, but just not able to make the grab. As it will be 0-1 to J.D. Swarbrick. Swarbrick has been a pain in the side for the Ribbons, both in Game 1 and Game 2. As he had a triple in Game 1, and then here in Game 2 has reached twice. One time it was off of a error. The other time he had a single. Count is 1-1 to Swarbrick. As that'll be line foul and out of play. Ribbons armbar and having to duck. As the count is 1-2. Hankey ready on the mound. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Edmonds holding on to it. As there will now be 2 down for the beer batter, Dan Blinkman.
If this batter strikes out, it'll be buy one, get one free PBR for the remainder of the 3rd inning.
Blickman walked and eventually came around to score in the first and then drew a walk again in the second. Beer batter find himself on base so far here in Game 2. That ball will get away from Edmonds. He can't find it. Rounding third, now heading for home, but he'll retreat. Is Miles Foy. Edmonds unable to find that ball. Hankey ready, the 2-0. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Beer batter not making any fans happy so far today. Not striking out at all in Game 1. And so far, not striking out at all in Game 2. But Benji Hankey 1 strike away from making fans happy. Here's the 2-2. Low for ball 3. Blinkman finding himself deep in counts. As in the first at-bat, had a full count, fouled a few pitches off. And in the second at-bat, as he'll draw a walk here. Reaching base for the 3rd time in this game. Twice on 3-2 counts. And as I was trying to mention, in the second, did it on a 3-1 count. So Hankey responsible for the runner at first. Joe Anderson still responsible for the runner at third. Pitch will be a ball to Connor Gabor. Ribbons finding himself in trouble here early. Count is 1-1. Gabor ready at the plate. Here's the pitch. Selby popped up towards left, hooking towards the line, and it will go foul. Hankey now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with minimal damage done. Ribbons bats need to come alive, and they need to come alive fast. Remember, this is a 7-inning game, just like Game 1. As the 1-2 will be low and away for ball 2. But as much as their batting needs to come alive, their pitching also needs to wake up a little bit. 7 runs, 6 hits. As that'll be swung on and missed for strike 3, and the inning is over. One run comes across for the Braves here in the top of the third. As we head to the bottom of the third, it's still 7-3 as the Braves lead. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third here at Joannes Park. Ribbons hoping to get into that lead as they are currently down 7. Or I'm sorry, they're currently down 4. Coming to bat here in the third will be Boone Kirst, Brian Gerbers, and Drew Swedzinski. As that will be popped up. Giving chase will be the catcher Josh Conifs, but unable to make the catch as it will reach the stands. Count is now 1-1 to Kirst. Cardoza still on the mound for the Braves and nobody warming up to replace him. As here's the 1-1. As that will be in the zone for strike 2. Kirst hit a sac fly in the first. Not able to do that here as nobody is on. The 1-2. As that will hit him. Kirst trots his way down to first base. As that will bring up Brian Gerbers.
Now batting number 25, Brian Gerbers.
Gerbers flew out to second base in the first. Ribbons hoping to get something started here, and hopefully he can do some damage. First pitch to him will be high, but in the zone for a strike. Cardoza ready on the mound. Here's the 0-1. High and away for a ball. Count is 1-1. Cardoza looking for his sign. As here comes the pitch. Grounded foul. Gerber's battling at the dish. As he's making his way to the box. Here's the 1-2 from Cardoza. As that'll be lined up towards left center. It's high, it's deep, it's far, it's gone. Home run, Brian Gerbers. Second home run of the year from Brian Gerbers. Cuts the Addison lead in half as it's a 7-5 ball game. Coming up to the dish will be Drew Sajinski. Sajinski taking over for Bornick. In game one, flew out to center, grounded out to short in the third, flew out to right in the fifth, and then had a single in the sixth. So Sajinski trying to go on a hot streak here as he has a 1-1 count now. Here's the pitch. As that will hit Sajinski. Sajinski will head down to first base. As that will bring up Wilson Zuck. As coming to have a chat will be the pitching coach of the Addison Braves. They're not going to pull Alex Cardoza because there is no one warming up in the arm barn. Cardoza so far, 5 runs, 5 hits. 1 strikeout, and that was Sawyer Larson. As the meeting gets broken up, that'll bring up Wilson Zuck. Zuck trying to stay hot here in game 2. He hit a double in the second. That was to lead off that inning. High scoring game here at Joe Annings, as that will be low in the dirt for ball 1. Cardoza ready on the mound. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Popped up towards short. Making the call is going to be the shortstop, Miles Foy, as he'll make the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Dimitri Edmonds. Edmonds grounded out to short here in the second inning of game 2. Had a much different game 1. As that'll be high and outside for a ball. The 1-0 from Cardoza will find the zone for a strike. Edmonds stepping into the box right away. Cardoza likes the first sign he sees. Here's the 1-1. That'll be line foul and out of play. As you can see, the blue bat coming into frame every once in a while. That's Peyton Conley. 1-2, 1 out. The pitch is going to be grounded towards second. Throw is going to go to first and not in time, as Edmonds will find himself with a single. As this will bring up Milo Upton. Upton started today's game at third base, but after James Bornick got pulled, moved over to first. Last time up had a single and eventually came around to score. Cardoza comes set. Pitch to Upton. Will be high and away, but in the zone for a strike. Cardoza ready. The 0-1. Will be swung on a miss for strike 2. Coming to have a quick chat is going to be Josh Conniff. It's not often that you see a catcher come to have a chat, as they are currently leading an 0-2 count. But having a kind of long meeting here. Braves do have someone warming up in the arm barn. As it'll be number 25, Nick. As that will be a base hit in the left. Rounding third, heading home. The throw is not going to happen. As coming around to score is going to be Drew Sajinski. As the Ribbons now come within one. This will bring up bottom of the order Sawyer Larson. As Barbeau actually is going to be the player warming up for the Braves. We saw him in game 1, Louis Barbeau. That'll be fouled off. Larson struck out swinging on 3 pitches last time he was up. Hoping for a different outcome this time around. Base hit could tie this game up at 7, as that will be low in the dirt for a ball. Top of the order, Peyton Conley due up. As long as Larson does not ground into a double play, as that will be fouled towards the Braves dugout. Count is 1-2. Larson hoping to do some damage here. Wind blowing out towards right. Cardoza ready on the mound. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second is going to be not in time. Larson will strike out swinging, as there are now 2 down for Peyton Conley. Conley walked in the first and then had a big double in the second, which scored Wilson Zuck and Milo Upton. Trying to do it again here, this time with Dimitri Edmonds and Milo Upton, as he'll swing and foul this one off. Count goes 0-1 to Conley. Ribbons within 1. As that will skip in the dirt. Catcher doing a good job to keep it in front of him. As Cardoza says he wants a new baseball. Swapping baseballs as Cardoza gets the one he wants. Conley still at the dish. Staring at a 1-1 count. As he comes set, here's the pitch. Way outside for ball 2. Conley looking for one he can drive. If he reaches, George McIntyre will come to the dish. The 2-1 is going to be popped up. Camping underneath it is the third baseman. Shortstop looking to make a play. It's going to drop. Edmonds heading home. Throw is not going to be in time, and this game is tied. Oh, my God, voice crack. Having really bad voice cracks today. But this game is tied at 7. McIntyre comes to the dish. Happens to us all, right? That will be a single for Conley, as no one was able to make contact with the ball. As that'll be popped up from McIntyre, heading towards the Braves dugout, reaching over but unable to make the catch will be the third baseman, Dan Blickman. Edmonds came around to score. Upton to second. And then, of course, Peyton Conley to first. Running out the easiest of plays is always important as both the batter and runners, and that is heavy proof on why. That'll be swung on and missed from McIntyre. McIntyre also the 9th batter of this inning for the Ribbons. As Cardoza comes set, here's the pitch. Popped up. Over towards first base, camping underneath it will be Trent Lawrence as he'll make the catch for out number 3. 9 batters for the Ribbons, but more importantly, 4 runs come across here in the bottom of the third. It's 7-7 as we head to the 4th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 4th here at Joannes Park. And as always, top of the 4th means we got an interview. In this case, it's not someone you've heard so far this year. It will be Isaac Verbergen. Isaac, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing all right. Obviously, you were sitting here when I had that voice crack.
Yep, that was awesome.
We're having fun today, obviously. But there's a reason not a lot of fans have heard your name. Talk about the ACL injury.
Yeah, so mid-April, probably about halfway through our season down at Carroll, I tore my ACL in between innings, just trying to stay loose, and ACL just happened to have blown out, I guess.
So obviously that put a huge stunt to your season. Did this happen early in the year or late in the year?
About middle. I was about 12. I made 12 outings. I think we had about 20 games left-ish, roughly.
Edmonds tags for strike 3 and he loses the ball. But that will be out number 1, which will bring up Josh Conniff. As you mentioned, you play at Carroll University. You struck out a season-high 3 batters in a game against Lakeland. How did that come about?
I don't know. I guess my slider, I feel like I was really feeling it that day. I think I threw it was 7 straight strikes. That outing I do remember pretty well. I threw 2 balls to start, and then the next 2 batters that same inning, 6 straight strikes, sent them both down. Got another line out later that inning, and then started the next inning with a strikeout.
And you made your college debut with just 1 inning of work. It was a scoreless inning against Berea. How does starting hot and getting that first scoreless inning affect your gameplay going forward?
Oh, it dumped the nerves for sure. That game, I think we kind of blew it open. I I didn't really know if I was going to pitch that game, and then got the opportunity, and then just kept getting more opportunities, and just continued to build my confidence for the
Well,
rest of the year.
well, and speaking of that, you made 11 appearances as a freshman. I mean, that's a lot for a freshman typically. How does being that reliable source for your coach build your confidence?
I mean, kind of. I felt like I just knew that if we got late in the game, we were winning or we were close, that I was gonna have potentially that opportunity to pitch, and then so that just kind of kept me locked in throughout the year. And then obviously I performed. I felt like early, and just kind of kept going on from there.
And you are a somewhat local guy. You played high school ball at Nina.
Yes, sir.
How did Nina's coach help prepare you for the college level?
Well, I think he played at Stevens Point, so he was kind of like someone who like knew, helped me guide kind of what to expect, and he just told me probably shouldn't say the words, but he just told me to quote unquote fuck him, and that's something that's I'm not sure I should have said that, but it's kind of something that just stuck with me.
So, obviously, you're not making your debut this season. How did you find the Blue Ribbons?
It was I think December. We were on winter break, obviously, and Coach Price messaged me on Twitter. I followed him back, and then we set up a phone call, FaceTime, whatever, and got offered me a spot on the team, and I took it.
And what was that call like? Like, how did
It was comforting knowing that someone, saw the body of work I put in, give me an opportunity to pitch this summer. Obviously, not gonna happen, but hopefully next summer as well.
Well, and we have a lot of great pitchers on the team. How have they helped you to, even with your injury, adapt your mindset, your play style, or anything? Really?
If anything, it's just seeing like what they do in between games. Maybe I haven't obviously been around a ton, but just some different stuff that maybe I can pick up on as like a routine, because I feel like I'm somebody who doesn't really have a routine, and maybe if I see something that works for a starter, another reliever, maybe I can use that to stick.
As you mentioned, you're not with the team all the time, only making appearances when you can. So the veterans haven't had such a major impact with you, but how have the non-pitcher veterans impacted you?
Um, just seeing how they go go about things, just encouraging everybody. I don't feel like there's a lot of egos, or I don't see it as much. And just we want to win ball games, and we've been doing a great job of that.
Well, sometimes it's a 1-2-3 inning, sometimes it's a 5-run inning. In this case, you're getting the hook early. Thank you for joining us today. As we head to break, it's 7-7 here in the middle of the fourth. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth here at Joannes Park. First pitch will be grounded to third. from Boone Kirst as he will be out. Short but great interview from Isaac Bruggen. Couldn't remember who it was. Had to look at my notes. Brian Gerber's at the dish. Salby line towards left. Foul. Gerbers finds himself in an 0-1 count. Yeah, great interview. Great kid. Great style. Hope to see him well on the team next year. Count now 1-1 to Brian Gerbers. Gerbers has flown out to second in the first and then hit a home run in the third. As this will be popped up. Second base looking to make the play again as he'll make the catch. J.D. Swarbrick.
Now batting number 10, Drew Szynski.
2 down now for Drew Szynski. Szynski was hit by a pitch in his only at-bat here in Game 2 as he'll stare at strike 1. As that'll be line left and foul. Szynski find himself in a quick 0-2 count. Cardoza still on the mound as that pitch will be outside for a ball. If Szynski reaches, Wilson Zuck will come to the dish. As that'll be line foul into the Braves dugout. Count remains 1-2. As Conifs will grab the loose baseball. The pitch from Cardoza will be outside for ball 2. Cardoza finds his sign. The 2-2. Way outside for ball 3. Szynski ready at the dish. 3-2, the pitch. As that'll be line towards right center, this could be trouble. Rounding first, heading for second, as he will get in standing with a double. Drew Szynski adding a little life here in the bottom of the 4th. As that'll bring up Wilson Zuck. Zuck so far here in Game 2 hit a double and came around to score in the second. Then had a fly out to short in the third. A base hit here could do some damage for the Ribbons. First pitch to him is going to be outside for a ball. Zuck ready at the dish. Here comes the 1-0. That's a high fly ball to left. It's high, it's deep, it's far, and it's gone. A 2-run blast for Wilson Zuck. The first home run for Wilson Zuck comes in a big time. As Zuck will give the Ribbons a 2-run lead. It's now 9-7 Ribbons. As Dimitri Edmonds now coming up to the plate. Edmonds will stare at ball 1. Had a ground out to the shortstop in the second, and then had a single and eventually came around to score in the third. The 1-0 will be inside to Edmonds. Cardoza, the 2-0. That'll be fouled behind the announcer booth. Count goes to 2-1. Cardozo working fast. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3. Edmonds would be okay with a walk here. As here comes the 2-1. As that'll be line, base hit in the left. Edmonds swinging a somewhat hot bat here, as that will be his second hit of the day. As that will bring up Milo Upton. As coming to have a chat now is going to be the pitching coach for the Braves, as the night is over for Cardozo. There was no one warming in the pen before this inning started, and the one warming up earlier and coming into the game will be number 15, Louis Barbeau. Barbeau played in game 1. He was the DH. Barbeau comes into the game after the Ribbons take a 9-7 lead. Line score for the first pitcher, 9 runs, 10 hits, and then no errors for the Braves. So all those runs are going to be earned. Still has a chance to have a 10-run earned run game, as Dimitri Edmonds over at first will be his problem. But Milo Upton will have to face the new pitcher, Louis Barbeau. Barbeau getting his last warm-up pitch in, as we're just about ready to get started here. Walking up to the dish will be Milo Upton. Cardozo's night is done. Barbeau will take over. Edmonds over at first. Pitch will be low in the dirt for ball 1 as it gets away. Edmonds will trot down to second. As now the Ribbons have a runner in scoring position. Upton so far today, a single in the second, came around to score, and a single in the third, as this will be high and in for a ball. Upton ready at the dish. The 2-0. Swung on and missed, strike 1. The pitch to Upton is going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. Upton stepping back into the box. Barbeau shakes off a few pitches, now finds the one he wants. The pitch. Low for ball 3. Count now full to Milo Upton. Edmonds taking his lead over at second. 3-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. Ribbons get 2 across as they take the 9-7 lead as we head to the 5th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th here at Joannes Park. Trent Lawrence, Nick Surid, and Miles Foy. Those are your due up for the Addison Braves. Benji Hankey still on the mound for the Ribbons, as Lawrence will swing and miss at strike 1. Ribbons hoping for Hankey just to be lights out. This will be foul towards first base. Upton will grab it, as it will be an 0-2 count. Ribbons and Braves have 2 games tomorrow. Strike 3 looking, as Trent Lawrence will strike out. There's now 1 down for Nick Surid. Surid struck out swinging in the first and then struck out looking in the third. As this will be popped up, Upton gave a little bit of a chase, but it will reach the stands. Surid finds himself in an 0-1. As Hankey will come back to the rubber, here is the 0-1. As that will miss the zone. Count is 1-1. The pitch from Hankey. That will skip low for ball 2. Surid making the furthest he has in any of his at-bats so far today, as that will miss. Count now goes to 3-1. As here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. Count is now full, as Surid steps into the box. Here's the full count pitch from Hankey, as that will miss. Umpire clarifies it was outside. So Surid will reach, meaning that every Addison Brave has reached base between both games. As exiting game 1, Miles Foy was the only one not to reach. He definitely reached earlier, as this will skip away from Edmonds. Heading to second will be Nick Surid. Foy had a double last time he was up. As that'll be in there for strike 1. Hankey working fast as he works it into a 1-2 count. Hankey finds his sign. Here's the pitch. That'll be flied foul and out of play. Giving chase is going to be the right fielder, but this will clearly land in the parking lot. Sawyer Larson giving a little chase on that ball. The 1-2 is going to be high and in. Ducking and getting out of the way will be Miles Foy. 2-2, 1 out. Surid taking a big lead at second. Oh. Curveball hooking towards the zone, but home plate umpire saying it didn't reach it. 3-2, the pitch. Will hit him. That'll be a hit by pitch. As Miles Foy will head down to first.
Out batting number 7, J.D. Swarbrick.
As this will bring up Swarbrick. Swarbrick has been a force to be reckoned with against the Ribbons so far today. Reaching base twice here in Game 2 and then having that triple in Game 1. As that will skip away from Edmonds. Both runners will advance. Runners now at second and third. Tying run over at second in scoring position. Ribbons not getting anyone warming yet, as this will be a fly ball towards right. Larson, underneath it. Throw home is going to be offline. Edmonds giving chase as he'll stop it. But coming around to score will be Nick Sered. As that sac fly will bring the Braves within one after the Ribbons just took the lead in the bottom of the fourth. This will bring up tonight's beer batter, Dan Blickman. So that'll be swung on a miss for strike one. Blickman has reached base 3 times, all on walks. As this will skip in the dirt, tying run is going to come across as Benji Hankey didn't even try running to the plate. It is now a 9-9 ball game. The count is now 1-1. As that pitch will find the zone for strike 2. Fans 1 strike away from buy one, get one free PBR. The pitch will be fouled off. And strike 3 looking, and the inning is over. 2 runs do come across here in the top of the 5th as the game is tied at 9. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, you're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Sawyer Larson at the dish for the Ribbons here in the bottom of the 5th. 9-9 is your score. Ribbons hoping to get the 2 runs they just gave up back. And they're going to rely on the bat of Sawyer Larson. He struck out swinging in the 2nd and the 3rd. as that ball will skip in the grass for ball 2. This is only the second batter for Louis Barbeau, as that will find the zone for a strike. Top of the order, Peyton Conley due up next, as that will be high but in the zone. Count now 2-2 to Larson. So here's the pitch. That'll be high for ball 3. Larson looking to draw the walk here. The pitch from Barbeau. As that'll be lined towards center. Looking to get underneath it and making the catch will be Peyton Berg. As there is now 1 out for top of the order, Peyton Conley. Conley so far today walked and came around to score in the first, a double in the second, and a single in the third. That'll be way inside for ball 1. So here's the 1-0. As that'll be grounded foul. Conley stepping back into the box, as here comes the 1-1. That'll be high for ball 2. So here's the 2-1. Ground ball foul. Brett Whiffen making a good play over there by the Ribbons dugout. Count is now 2-2. Conley ready. Here it is. That'll be fouled back to the net. Conley taking a little extra time here. Steps into the box. Barbeau ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Way outside for ball 3. As the count goes full. 3-2, 1 out. So that'll be popped towards center. Giving chase is going to be Peyton Berg, but making the catch will be the left fielder, Nick Sered.
Now batting number 21, George McIntyre.
George McIntyre coming to the dish. Definitely had a better game 1 than game 2. He had a single in the first, fly out to center in the second, and then a fly out to first in the third. As that will skip low in the dirt for ball 1. A good swing of the bat here from George McIntyre. Can switch this game up a lot. Center fielder playing way towards left field. As that will skip low for ball 3. As we take a look here, playing over by the Malat sign. And if you could see the center fielder, you're seeing well. And you can see well at Cherry Optical Lab. Glasses, eye exams, contacts, they do it all. Cherry Optical Lab, see the difference. George McIntyre seeing well there as he'll draw the 4-pitch walk. As that will bring up Boone Kirst. Both sides trying to limit the amount of pitchers they use in these first 2 games, as they will have to play 2 games tomorrow. First game, first pitch has changed to 11:30 a.m. as to try to beat the Storms on Sunday. The 1-1. McIntyre going. The throw is going to be not in time. Skips away. McIntyre probably should have slid. But able to make it in standing. The 2-1. As McIntyre will head back to second. Nobody covering second. Skips in the dirt. Keeping it in front of him is Josh Coniffs. As Kirst finds himself in a 3-1 count. The pitch. As that'll be grounded towards the middle. Hits the mound. Kirst running it out. The throw is in time to get him. 4-3 put out. Ends the inning for the Ribbons as they don't get any across here in the 5th. We stay tied heading to the 6th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th here at Joannes Park. Connor Gabor, Peyton Berg, and Josh Coniffs. Those are your due up for the Addison Braves. Umpire taking a little extra time getting over to the plate. Pitch from Benji Hankey. Will he pop foul and out of play? Gabor so far today was hit by a pitch. He came around to score in the first, a single in the second, and struck out swinging in the third. As that pitch will miss for ball 1. That will skip in the dirt from Edmonds. Count now 2-1. Hankey working fast. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul towards the Ribbons dugout. Gabor in the box. Here's the pitch. Zalby line right to second base for out number 1. Fast reactions from Peyton Conley. As this will bring up Peyton Berg. As here is the first pitch. Pop foul and out of play. Count now 0-1 to Peytonberg. As here's the pitch from Hankey. As that'll be grounded towards short. Sajinski has it at third. Throw is going to be in time to get him. Not happy is the first base coach. Number 20, John Zielinski, having a chat with the field arbiter. But a nice play from Sajinski makes it 2 down for the Ribbons. First pitch to Josh Conniffs is going to miss the zone for ball 1. As that will skip low for ball 2. Hankey working fast as always, as here's the 2-0. In there for a strike. Got him at a 2-1 count. Conniff struck out looking in the first, walked in the second, and then grounded out to third in the fourth. As here's the 2-1. As that will miss the zone for ball 3. Look to be inside. The 3-1 will be low for ball 4, as heading down to first will be Conniff. Not able to get the 1-2-3 inning. As coming to the plate will be Frank Lavin. Lavin doing well in this game, had a single in the first. It was a bases clearing double. And then struck out swinging in the fourth. But a 3 RBI game 2 after coming off of a pretty not great game 1. Where he reached base only once, and that was off of a walk. Count 1-1 to Lavin. So here's the pitch from Hankey. In there for strike 2. Hankey trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. He comes set. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the inning is over. No one comes across here in the top of the 6th. We're still tied at 9 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th here at Joannes Park. Ribbons hoping to score 1 to put a big threat on the 7th inning. They will send Brian Gerbers to the plate. It will be Gerbers, Sojinski, and Zuck. As Gerbers steps in, the first pitch to him. Will skip in the grass for ball 1. Gerbers so far today flew out to second base in the first, then hit a home run in the third, and then flew out to second in the fourth. As this one he'll foul off. Ribbons just hoping for Gerbers to reach base. Get something started here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1 will be high for a ball. Luis Barbeau still on the mound for the Braves. The 2-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. The ball did get away from the catcher, Josh Conniffs. As here comes the 2-2 to Brian Gerbers. Ground ball up the middle, as this will get through for a base hit. Gerbers trying to start the Ribbons off hot, as Drew Sojinski will now come to the plate. Sojinski was hit by a pitch in the third, came around to score, then had a double in the fourth. Ribbons hoping he stays hot here as he'll watch ball 1. Sojinski not coming in until the bottom of the, top of the third, I believe is when he came in. After they pulled the plug on James Bornick. The 1-1 from Barbeau will skip in the dirt, not enough for Gerbers to try to advance. Count is now 2-1. Sojinski ready at the dish. Here's the 2-1. That'll be lined foul, and it will reach the stands. Sojinski now finds himself in a 2-2 count. Looking for one he could drive here. The pitch. As that'll be popped towards center. A little blooper, but making the catch will be the shortstop for out number 1. This will bring up Wilson Zuck with 1 down. A double from Zuck here could do some major damage, as Brian Gerbers has a little bit of speed over him at first. Checking the runner. We'll be back in plenty of time. Here comes the pitch to Gerbers. Sorry, not to Gerbers. Gerbers now taking off. The throw is going to be not in time. Not a great slide from Gerbers, but he'll have the stolen base. As Zuck will watch ball 1. Now a runner in scoring position for the Ribbons. Zuck trying to not let it go to waste. Here's the 1-0. That'll be grounded. Foul. Close over there at third. But the count will go to 1-1. Zuck ready at the dish. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt for a ball. Ribbons just looking for one run to add a little extra pressure going into the final inning. The 2-1, as stepping off will be Louis Barbeau. Taking a pretty decent lead over there at second is Gerbers. The 2-1. High for ball 3. Zuck could draw a walk here, which may be better for the Braves than the Ribbons, as he'll swing and miss here for strike 2. Full count now to Wilson Zuck. Here's the pitch. That'll be high for ball 4 as Zuck will trot down to first base. This will bring up Dimitri Edmonds. Edmonds so far here in game 2, ground out to short in the second. A single and came around to score in the third. And then a single in the fourth. Ribbons hoping he keeps his bat red hot. First pitch to Edmonds is going to be grounded to third, throw to second in time, throw to first for the double play, and the inning is over. Edmonds grounds into a double play. We are tied at 9 as we head to the 7th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Trent Lawrence, Nick Sered, and Miles Foy. Those are your due up here in what is supposed to be the final frame. Hankey still on the mound for the Ribbons as he will miss the zone with ball 1. Count is 1-0 to Lawrence. That'll be fouled back to the net. Lawrence so far today, single in the first, single in the third, and came around to score. Then he struck out looking in the 5th. The 1-1 from Hankey. Will skip in the dirt. That one will also happen to reach the net. Count is 2-1. As that one will be low for ball 3. Hankey finds himself in a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. Lawrence in the box. Pitch from Hankey. We'll skip in the dirt for ball 4. They're going to check if he swung, but I don't believe so. Umpire didn't even acknowledge the check. So heading down to first will be Trent Lawrence. As this will bring up Nick Sered. Sered struck out swinging in the first, struck out looking in the third, and then drew a walk in the 5th. Squared around a bunt here, as they'll say he pulled back for a ball. Infield playing in, expecting the bunt. Squares around, gets it down. Only play is at first. They'll get him. Sered tried to dive for the play. As there is now 1 down with a runner in scoring position for Miles Foy. Huge lead over at second. First pitch will be grounded right to second. Throw to first will be in time to get him. But advancing to third will be Trent Lawrence. As there is now 2 down for J.D. Swarbrick. Swarbrick, single in the first, reach on an error in the second, struck out swinging in the third, and then a sac fly in the 5th. Edmonds keeping this in front of him. Ribbons do have someone warming up in the arm barn. The 1-0. In there for a strike. Hankey only worried about Swarbrick here. Here's the 1-1. Salby line foul and out of play. Hankey looking to get out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Giving chase is Larson. He'll call for it and make the catch for out number 3. No one comes around to score here in the 7th. Ribbons need 1 for the win. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th here at Joannes Park. Ribbons need 1 to win it. It's a 9-9 ball game. as they'll try to rely on the bat of Milo Upton. Trying to get something started here. First pitch to him. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike one. Upton so far today here in game 2. Single and came around to score in the second. Single in the third. And then a strikeout swinging in the fourth as he'll swing and miss here for strike 2. Here's the pitch. Low and away for a ball. Upton looking to get something started here. As mentioned, the Ribbons only need one. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Staying alive at the plate. Upton in the box. The 1-2. Skips in the dirt. Louis Barbeau still on the mound for the Braves. No one warming in the arm barn. The 2-2. As Albert grounded towards third. Throw to first will be in time to get Upton. As there's now one down for Sawyer Larson.
Now batting number 16, Sawyer Larson.
Larson hoping he's due right now. Struck out swinging in the second. Struck out swinging again in the third. And then flew out to center in the fifth. He'll swing and miss at a ball in the dirt here for strike 1. Larson hoping to get something started here and void extra innings, as this will be a high flyer to left, as that will get down for a base hit. Larson finds himself on base as every Ribbon will reach base. I believe it's today, at least here for game 2 as I can see. As we look back at game 1, every Ribbon also reached there. So all Ribbons reaching. As that'll be a liner to second. Bobbles it. Throw is going to be not in time, as Conley will reach base on the air. And advancing to second is going to be Sawyer Larson. So now the Ribbons have the winning run in scoring position for George McIntyre. Time now being called. Addison wanting to have a chat now. Manager walking out with some speed. Runner at first and second. Sawyer Larson at second represents the winning run for the Ribbons. And George McIntyre came into game 2 after having a 2-home run game in game 1. Had a single in the first, flew out to center in the second, flew out to first in the third, and then walked in the fifth. Trying to be the hero here in game 2. McIntyre ready in the box. Barbeau, the pitch. Inside, but will find the zone. Ribbons clarifying that that was a strike. As McIntyre will step back in the box. The 0-1. As that'll be high for a ball 1. McIntyre ready. Barbeau shakes off a sign. Now comes set. Here's the 2-1. As he'll fake a throw over to second to try to get Larson. Here's the 1-1. Foul tip into the glove. Count is now 1-2. McIntyre ready in the box. The 1-2. Balk called. That will change drastically here. Winning run now 90 feet away. McIntyre just needs a fly ball. Braves not happy with the call as they chirp a little from the dugout. One-two will be inside for ball two. McIntyre just looking to give one a ride. A deep fly ball should score Larson. Barbeau ready, the pitch. Skips in the dirt, gets away. Larson getting the late jump. The throw, not in time. And the Ribbons walk it off here in the 7th. 10-9 is your score as the Ribbons will win game 2. And they will sweep the doubleheader here on Saturday. 10-9 is your score. As a reminder, before we get into line score, first pitch for game 1 will be at 11:30 tomorrow as these two teams do it again. As we look back at game 1, Braves got on the boards first as it was a 2-0 ball game. Ribbons responded with a George McIntyre home run to make it a 2-1 ball game. The Braves would not get on the board again. Ribbons would fight back in the 3rd with a George McIntyre 3-run blast. Zuck and Dimitri Edmonds would come around to score in the 4th. In the 5th, they'd add a little more insurance with James Bornick and Wilson Zuck crossing the plate. And then the final nail in the coffin, Brian Gerbers coming around to score as the Ribbons took game 1. Game 2 saw a lot of action. 5 runs in the first just for the Addison Braves. Then the Ribbons came back and scored 1. Braves would take that run back with J.D. Swarbrick. Ribbons would then score 2 with Wilson Zuck and Milo Upton crossing the plate. In the 3rd, 1-run scoring for the Braves would be Trent Lawrence. And then 2-run scoring for the Ribbons. For the 3rd, it would be 4-run scoring, starting with Boone Kirst and then Brian Gerbers. Drew Swedzinski would come into the game and come around to score. Dimitri Edmonds would be the last one to cross the plate in the 3rd. In the 4th, Swedzinski would do it again off of the Wilson Zuck 2-run blast. And then here in the 7th, 10-9 off of the wild pitch. Ribbons walk it off as they sweep here on Saturday. And as I mentioned, tuned in tomorrow to see if they can sweep all 4 games. Ribbons and Braves will face off at 11:30. Make sure to tune in on the live stream or come in person and enjoy all the love Joannie's has to offer. But that will do it for us here today. Make sure to celebrate. Grab an extra cold one today. And no matter how you celebrate, make sure to celebrate Ferta Ribs. I will see you all tomorrow.